Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chaos Stream. With me, I have five-time regional champion and most recently Portland regional champion Israel Sosa. What's up, Israel?
Sup?
For those of you who don't know anything about Israel, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, uh, I work. I do carpet cleaning as a profession. I go to school. Right now, I'm studying to be a paralegal, and I play Pokemon and play one deck and barely test and do my thing.
And that one deck is Yveltal Maxie's. So, looking at your list, um, were there any cards that you changed from your St. Louis run, or like most notably, why some cards, I guess, like why only one Gallade as opposed to other people playing like two Gallade, two Maxies?
For the list change from St. Louis to Portland, I decided to switch to Tauros for another Yveltal. I felt that was correct. Tauros was pretty pointless in St. Louis. It has a couple of good uses against Mega Guardy, but it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to pop up in Portland just because we're just very known for dark in the West. So I took that up for another Yveltal, and then I've been back and forth throughout the weeks. I didn't get a chance to test it, and I switched Delinquent for Hex, and I regret it so much during Portland weekend. It was probably the most pointless card of my deck in the weekend.
Sure. And I'm assuming
And
Hex is probably for like Volcanion and stuff like that.
Plume. That was
Plume
I
too.
think that was the theory for it, Plume, and the Volcania just to slow him down if I don't get the labs out. But
Mm.
I didn't face a single one, and
Yeah, deck's bad.
it was pointless. Yep. And then for the one Gallade, I just felt like I like having text in my builds, so I don't have enough room to put the 2/2, and I just feel like the 2/2 is just not even worth having in my kind of playstyle.
Sure.
I don't like making my deck like seem so linear. I like to come like in different directions and like make you think, put you in situations that you're not put in before, and see if you can get out of it. And it's been working for me.
Yeah, it's fair. So, obviously, you've been having some ridiculous success with this Yveltal deck. It's been probably it's like the only deck you play, and you are the best at it, I would have to say.
Thank
So,
you.
I'll let you, I guess, jump into your Portland report.
All right, so round zero, I had a battle against Snow, and traveling from Anaheim to Portland, it's a 16-hour drive, and it became like a 20-hour drive because we had to stop in the middle of the mountains because there was a huge snowstorm, and we spent 4 hours trying to figure out how to put snow chains on since there's no snow down here, pushing the car out of the snow every 5 minutes, and just trying to reheat ourselves because we were like freezing cold and our hands were like frozen. But it was, we got there. We finally got there, and starting on to the report, round one, I faced Vesequin, and it was just straight out, just back and forth. But it was kind of more my favorite just because game one, I hit Maxie's late game, and he didn't have any more hex plays left, and he discarded his Wobbuffets early. And game two, it was just the same thing. I just got Maxie's, and the game was kind of over. Round two, I faced another Vesequin, and this one was a little bit more a handful, just because he got a little bit more of a faster jump than he did than my first round. And I didn't get any Maxies whatsoever in first or second game, but I won game one. And then to game three, I got Maxies out. I was killing his attackers left and right, and it went down to like me versus time. It was like 5 minutes left. He has no more attackers. He was just shaman looping, and it was just me trying to hit my last DC to get the one shot on a shaman. And
Sure.
before I even get that, he decked out. So it was like, all right,
He decked out.
worked out.
Poor guy.
It was very depressing. I really wanted to smack that shaman for 120. But round three, I faced Primal Groudon, and it was literally a 15-minute matchup. Surprisingly,
15.
it was just
Dang, dude.
15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. It was just like game one. I got 2 Fright Nights. He couldn't get Mr. Mime. He couldn't get anything going, and I just got energies on board. Sableye was doing its work. I still have 4 Dark Patches and 7 energies on board. It was just going right for me. And then game two, it was just like he beach gets him to replace Stadium, and it just went downhill for him from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then round four, I faced Mega Ray, I was fortunate enough where in game 1 he forgot about my Fright Knight and he Mega Evolves to ending his turn, and I one-shot his Mega Ray.
Oh,
And
jeez.
one-shotting it with a Hex. Finally, the Hex came in useful in that game. Um, Hex, and then he just scooped his cards. And then game 2, it was just same thing, just Stadium Control and Fright Knight and Evil Ballin and stuff. And then round 5, I faced Night March Tauros. Game 1, I just whiffed in all over the place. I couldn't get any attacks going. He was killing Darkrai's before I even got to attack with him.
Mhm.
It was going his way. Game
Sure.
2, it ended in 3 turns. I had benched him. And then game 3, it was literally an intense series. It went down to 1 prize to 3 prize. He kept ending me. I kept ending him. And he got the last out where if I attack with Night Spear with 140 damage, I lose regardless because his Tauros was only at 140.
Okay.
So I couldn't spear for a triple prize. And I lose there. So where was I? Round 5. Round 6, I faced Daniel Lynch. He was playing Dark Dragons. Game 1, he just destroyed me. I just could not get Gallade to save my life. Game 2 and 3, he just drew like boo-boo. Just ended in a couple minutes, and I felt bad, but I was like, you know what, one step closer.
That is a pretty favorable matchup, however, though, because you have the Gallade.
I have the Gallade, the Fright Knights, but it was just like game 1, he just got so many energies on board, and I couldn't deal with his Dragon Energy Pokemon quick enough.
Yep.
And he just started one-shotting things. It was just downhill from there.
Sure.
Round 7, I faced Christopher Shiminsky. He was playing Primal Groudon. And game 1, it was the same thing like how it was in my 3rd round. He just gets a Sableye, and he just kind of scooped. Game 2, he got Primal Ground, and he just started smacking my Yveltals, and shit went down the bed down on that one. And then game 3, I still remember this. It was pretty even to the point where like I get him with a couple guesses plays with Sableye, Junk Hunted to replace the stadium. He top decks Tropical Beach with 0 cards hand. Beach for 7. It doesn't look at his hand. So I gets this again. He looks at it, he was like, okay, we're gonna discover what's in this hand together. He drops down 5 items and 2 energies.
Oh no.
I replaced the stadium, and then I just started just swinging with Yveltals, and it ended pretty quickly from there. It was pretty funny, but you know, I was pretty happy though. I mean, I was at 6-1, and so I have 2 more rounds. I was like, okay, you know, I'll play this round, and then I'll ID. But I ended up facing Roberto in round 8, and I don't want to play against a friend, and I was like, you know, fuck it, we'll ID, we'll call it a day.
Yeah.
And I was telling him we should play our last round though. No matter what, we should play our last round. We're not gonna whiff cut 18s. Are gonna for sure gonna get in. I don't know how many, but they are. And so we agreed. I went back to the bedroom, fucking ate some chicken, drank a beer, passed out on the bed for like 15 minutes, and then went back to the convention center. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. You know, let's play this last round. Then I faced Keon. He sits down the thing. I don't want to play. Okay, we ID. Watching everyone play, watching Jimmy losing against the Decidueye Celigore Wobbuffet deck, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I looked at the standings, and I get 8 seeds, 7 seeds, something like that. I was in the top seeds, and I was pretty stoked. I was like, okay, now by looking at the numbers, I think 30 is the mark. I don't think 31 is, and I think even 29 could have a shot at this. So I was like, I need 3 wins. Round 10, start off the day, I face against Jackson. And I looked on the Andrews Wombold's post on Hey Fonte about the list that made the top 32. And I saw, for some reason, I saw Jackson was playing Yveltal Maxies. And I was like, all right, sweet, we get Mirror first round. You know, I want to get a good warm up because, you know, there's a lot of Maxies in the top 32. So we sit down, and I was like talking to him. I was like, yeah, man, I'm so excited about this Mirror. And he was like, yeah, I'm so excited about this too. And then he flips over Darkrai, but not the the free retreat one, the other one. And then he starts dropping down Salamence. I was like, this ain't Mir. He lied to me. He's like,
At
yeah, I'm
least you didn't
sorry.
find out on your turn.
And it was pretty easy, unfortunately. It was a quick 2-0. And I was like, all right, sweet, 2 more, and I'm good. Next round, I face Alex, who I ended up running into in the finals. But in round 11, I face him, and it was actually a pretty close series. In game 1, I kind of overextended it in an Yveltal play where I had no more resources if he responded to my last Yveltal.
Mhm.
And turns out he had the way to get out of it, and I just lose from there. Game 2, I don't remember too much, but all I know is with the game 3, and it went to time.
If anyone's
Yeah,
wondering,
it was streamed, yeah. And game 3, it was I could have won if we had maybe 5 more minutes because I realized he had no more Versus Seekers. He had one more Versus Seeker, which he had to use for a Lysander because he had 2 prizes. And he had no more DCs. He had no more Dark Energies. All I needed to do is keep Lysander in the Yveltal, and I just win.
Mhm.
But we ended up tying. And then my day goes into a nice, delightful moment, and I face Keon. And I'm not going to talk about it. It was a horrible 2-0 on his part. It was just so bad. It was just game 1, I just drew Boo Boo, and then game 2, I prized Getzes, and I was like, I need Getzes in order to beat Primal Groudon, and yeah, it was done. Round 13, I faced Daniel again with Darkrai Dragon, saying same thing. Game 1, he got a really good jump, beats me, couldn't get Gallade. No, I did get Gallade I got Gallade turn 1, and I still ended up losing.
Okay.
Game 2, he kind of drew kind of bad. And then game 3, it was close, but I edged it out just barely and winning that round. So I was like, okay, I just need to win one more win, and I could make it to top 8 and have another shot at this. So I faced against Sammy Hugh, and from Anaheim, I played against him, and he beat me 2-1. So I was kind of like looking for revenge when I saw him that I was facing. So I was like pumped, and I was like, okay, this is exactly how I want it. If I'm going to make it to top 8, I had to beat someone that beat me in the past. And game 1, I thought I was going to lose. He got 7 energies on turn 1, and
Jeez.
he got like 3 max elixirs, 2 dark patches, an energy attachment, and I was like, great. He was like, yeah, this is probably my best turn 1 yet. I was like, I'm not surprised.
Please stop it.
But I ended up still winning. I edged it out somehow, and I thought he played 2 Yveltal, but he only played 1 Yveltal EX. So I was like, okay, so long as I just keep pinching the Darkrai's, I know that the Yveltal is not going to hurt me, so I don't have to worry about dedicating too much energy on board. And AZ's coming into play, and game 2, it went down to a play where it's just like I sat there for like a minute thinking, it's like, if I AZ my Yveltal to DCE using Dowsing for a Dark Patch and Bright Knight, will I lose after this? Because I will have no cards in hand, and the same thing happens in top 4, spoiler alert. And so he was kind of telling me like to play a little bit faster, and because time was coming in, and he only needed a tie just to get in. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, let's just go for it. Playing with no hand, Friday night, and looks at his cards, ends, hope he hits a Fighting Fairy Bow, and nothing. So now I made top 8, and I was stoked. I almost got a warning after winning my last round for celebration. Since I was kind of pumped that I got my revenge, I made top 8, so I got another shot at winning my 5th regional. Mm-hmm. And started re-sleeving my deck using like these badass Pikachu Lucario sleeves my buddy had, and he knew I wanted them, but he wanted to sell them first. But since he was proud that I made top 8, he said, "Here, just use them."
Hey.
And so I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah!" I was pretty stoked, and they were actually really nice sleeves. But I looked at top 8 standings, and I saw that I'm facing Primal Groudon. And I looked, I was like, okay, I'm not shocked. That's how it's been going for the last 4 top cuts. I had to face, you know, I had to face like a good player in order to make it to the deep run. And I knew that in this one it's kind of different, where it's like if I win this one, I know I have a shot to win, but I have to get through Primal Groudon in order to make it.
Yeah.
So going into top 8, I faced against Travis Newless, and the first 2 games were like literally stellar. They were like really great games, and there was no slow playing, there was no like rule sharking, there was nothing. It was just clean, and I was, you know, I was very happy that Travis is a nice guy, and we played like wonderful games. And game 1, it went down to the last prizes. I end him hoping I don't hit him into 2 puzzles, and of course he hit 2 puzzles and wins game 1. Game 2, I had to kill his Groudon and hope I grab my 3rd Yveltal from the prizes. If I don't grab the 3rd Yveltal, I lose. I kill the Groudon, hoped I hit it. I hit the Yveltal, and I was like, okay, sweet. He ends me, and I hit Yveltal Dark Patch, and I was like, okay, all I need is an energy to win. Top deck energy, and I was like, all right, sweet. And he was like in shock. He was like, wait, you play 3 Yveltal EXs? I was like, yep. He's like, man, I knew you changed your list from St. Louis. And game 3, it was crazy. It was just like he beach. I switched the stadium to Perilous City, and he didn't have Mime out there, and it stuck. It stuck there for about like 15 turns. Like he could not get a beach. I was guessing him out of good hands, and he was just dead drawing. He would just like top decking energy. He was getting energies on board, and he even attacked with a regular Groudon EX just to kill my Fright Knight from doing more damage on board. And I knew time was close, so I was trying to play remotely faster, and I was trying to get at least 4 prizes. And I got my 4th prize after killing a Mr. Mime, and I knew time was close. And as he promoted Wobbuffet, time gets called. And he was like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? If I didn't promote the Wobbuffet right when time gets called, I would have a shot at this. So now he has to end, hope he hits a switch, heal his Groudon, and get an energy in order to keep the game close. But he hits an escape rope, and I had a Sableye bench, so I gave him the 1 prizer. And then from the end, I get a DC. The one shot is Groudon, and I win there, and I got my invite. Yep. Yeah. Thank you. So I looked at what was the rest of the Final Four, and I was like, okay, 3 Yveltal Maxies and a Turbo Dark build, and I'm facing the Turbo Dark. I was like, okay, and now I have a shot at this, and it's against Sam Hughes, so I know the deck already, and I know like what to do, what not to do. And this game is on stream, so I won't go too much detail, and also in the finals I won't go into too much detail, but I gotta say the MVP of that top 4 was AZ. AZ was the MVP, and
I watched that game. You were AZing every turn.
And it was surprising too. After a Sycamore, I hit like 2 Versus Seekers, 2 Darks, and like something else, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I'll just keep my slow cloning, putting damage on board, and it paid off. And I was like, I know I had 1 more out, and I know I could finish that game 1, and I did. Game 2, went down to a top deck, and I had 7 cards left in deck, and 5 of them were outs to a win. So top deck last night, and I win. And I was like, all right, finals, here we come. And against Alex, and I've known Alex for almost a year now, and I know that he's been like killing it in the seniors, and I know that kid has potential. Like in a couple of years now, he probably could become a big name too. And I knew that going to this finals, I had to play very smart. Don't get too over crazy. Just make smart decisions. This is your opportunity now. And I was kind of a little bit overconfident just because in my regionals record for finals, I'm 4-0.
It's a pretty good record to have.
It's a very good record, and I was like, okay, I could do this. And like I said, I won't go too much into the thing, but I will say in game 3, I was chasing the dragon, what people will say, very hard. And what I mean by that is like I do not care what was going on. I don't know what was going in the scenarios. All I know is I was just going for that win, and I was discarding resources left and right just to make it happen. And this over aggressive play almost cost me the win. And if there was this one play where it's like I Y cycle on a belted Yveltal at the very end, whereas like if I looked at his discard, I would have noticed that he had no more DCEs, so there was no way that Yveltal was going to one shot my Yveltal. And it was down to a top deck, and luckily luck was on my side, and I hit it. And from there, I was so happy. Like I couldn't even say any words. I couldn't get a warning this time, so I celebrated. I was holding back for the rest of the top eight. Like if I would have not get caught from the judge, like I would probably be celebrating almost every single win.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's how I am as a player. It's just like I get really excited.
Oh, I know, dude.
When I
We've
play.
played.
I get really emotional.
Yeah, I mean, it's still an incredible accomplishment. Anyone would be happy. I can't blame you. I don't think anyone can blame you there.
Yeah.
Every win means so much once you're in top 8. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's just seeing 103 rounds of me not winning a regionals, finally going down to 0. It's just a great feeling.
Yeah, and now you're cemented yourself above everybody else as the only person with 5 regional wins.
Yep.
Now you got everyone's chasing you.
That number 5. Yep. For now though, I'm Booker T.
Yeah, you are. So, if you were to play this list again, would you change any cards? What would be?
Hex.
Just a hex.
Hex. I would take that out, rip it in half, make 20 different pieces, probably put it in a salad and eat it. Because it was the most pointless thing ever. It would be a delinquent, and I think that would be the set 60 until the new set comes out.
And that's I don't think we have any expanded tournaments after that set drops, so because
we have
Ontario with this.
And it also depends on if expanded does come out next year.
Yeah, that's interesting to think about. Yeah, so I will leave the floor to you for any shout outs, anything you want to do.
Shout out to S1PC. They've been really helpful for me for the last couple months that I joined them. They got me out to St. Louis, and they were rooting me on throughout the top 8. Shout out to Team Brandon. It's not Team.
Team Brandon.
The reason why I said Team Brandon, not NTD Deals, is NTD Deals decided to cut out the Pokemon section of the store, and they do not want to sponsor Pokemon players anymore. So, but Brandon is going to try to do his own thing, and, I'm on his squad.
You're a pretty good rep for the squad.
Yeah, we have a great squad too. I mean, we have Kenny that won a regionals, Mark that won a regionals, Keon that made top 4 in internationals, and then Sammy. Well, Sammy, he's pretty good.
Oh, Sammy.
But shout out to everyone that's watching this video. Shout out to you for having me onto your show.
Dude, anytime. I was waiting for you to ask.
But you went to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you're right. I was busy. I had to get
Congrats on your win, by the way.
Thank you. I had to get some free points. All right. So with that, thank you so much for being here, dude. And
thank you.
We'll catch you hopefully winning some more stuff.
Hopefully.